Right, back to that travel trouble. We are hearing tonight from the Federal Department of Transportation. It is weighing in on the problems at Southwest, saying in part, quote, the rate of cancellations and delays on Southwest Airlines is unacceptable and dramatically higher than other U.S. carriers. The department will take action to hold Southwest accountable if it fails to fulfill its obligations. For more on this, we want to bring in Doug Shupe. We know him very well from the Auto Club of California. Doug, thanks for being here in person tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Marla. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the DOT opening up this investigation with Southwest. What does this mean for passengers? Will this help them get recourse that they otherwise might not?
Yeah, well, possibly the investigation will, but certainly the DOT's Airline Passenger Bill of Rights. And it's really important for consumers to know what their fly rights are. So, for example, a consumer is entitled to a refund if the airline canceled a flight regardless of the reason, weather, mechanical, staffing shortages, and the consumer chooses not to travel. Now, you are also entitled to a refund for any optional service fees that you paid, to check in baggage, for in-flight Wi-Fi, for seat upgrades. A consumer is also entitled to a refund if the airline made a significant schedule change or a significant delay of a flight and the consumer chooses not to travel.
And that's certainly the case for thousands of passengers across the country tonight. Doug, each holiday season, it's wintertime. We have weather delays. We have cancellations. This is not necessarily new, but this year is particularly bad. Why is that?
This year was extremely bad, and the reason is because the U.S. experienced what some are calling the winter storm of the century. And it happened right at the start of, the travel volume picking up for the holiday season, getting very close to pre-pandemic levels. In fact, from December 23rd through January 2nd, AAA had anticipated 7.2 million people would be flying somewhere for the holidays. With this winter storm happening right as the people started traveling, it just was the worst timing. Of course, airlines must focus on safety first. Getting passengers to their destination is a top priority, but unfortunately, that came with lots of cancellations and delays.
For people who have New Year travel plans, coming up in the next couple of days, or I've heard from people who have a flight next week and they're concerned about it, what's your word to the wise?
If you think that you may have a flight that's going to be canceled, say Friday or Saturday before the New Year holiday, go ahead and make plans to change it now. Don't wait for the cancellations to start happening, because once that happens, it's very difficult to rebook because there's such limited capacity and last-minute changes are nearly impossible. You always want to look for those early morning flights. They're less prone to cancellations and delays. Non-stop flights, because, that's less of a chance you'll be stranded in a layover city. Consider flight insurance. It's very important. Travel insurance is something that more and more people are considering. Of course, know your fly rights from the DOT. Don't double book flights thinking that, you'll have better chances, because airlines see that, and sometimes they'll cancel out both flights itineraries if they see they're associated with the same person. Carry all of your essentials, medicine, a change of clothes, snacks in a carry-on instead of checking everything in, because then if your flight does get canceled or delayed, you'll still have some essentials. And of course, file complaints with the airline and the Department of Transportation, should you not find a resolution once this is all over with.
Well, let's talk more. And that there is a website, transportation.gov. We have this up on your screen right now if you do want to file a complaint with the DOT. Getting back to, though, the luggage situation, we've seen those images of piles and piles of bags that their owners are somewhere. What you tell passengers who lost their luggage and don't know what to do?
Well, they're going to be working very hard to, get passengers back with their luggage. But, if a bag is declared permanently lost, that could happen between 5 to 14 days after the flight, and then you have to file a complaint, and then the airline will start negotiating with you. Same thing if there's damage to your luggage. You file a complaint, then they start to work on negotiating to give you the depreciated value of that luggage.
Okay. Well, we have you for a twofer, because we're talking about the travel trouble in the skies and on the roads,
right?
So what's your top 3 best tips to remind us how to drive in the rain?
Well, that's a great question. Inspect your vehicle, check the tire tread and inflation. Crucial to have good tires to maintain traction on the road. Check your headlights, your taillights, your turn signals so that they're working properly so other drivers know what your intentions are behind the wheel. Replace worn windshield wipers and change the way you drive. Don't speed, give yourself more stopping distance, and don't use cruise control on wet pavement.
Oh, good tip.
Yeah.
All right. Doug Shupe from the Auto Club of Southern California, thanks again for making the drive-in, especially in the conditions out there.
Anytime. Nice to see you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.